Shalom and welcome once again to Elders of GMS. My name is Elder Tahar. To my left is
Elder Rhymelap.
And we also have the researcher, Elder Gabar. Today's topic is entitled, The Israelites Came to America Long Before Christopher Columbus. All right? Now, the reason why I'm going into this topic, I'm going to cover a lot of things. I'm going to go into the scriptures, of course, and I'm going to go into this book called the James Adair History of the American Indian. All right? This book is about 100 years old or more. Speak for me.
Right. So basically, like the Elder Tara said, you know, the book is over 100 years old, and it documents in there an encounter that this guy had with the so-called North American Indians, which are the tribe of Gad. You know, because everybody's trying to get away from the fact that the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Puerto Ricans and so-called Indians are Israelites. They're trying to put them names on the Chinese, on the so-called white man, on the real Africans and all them different nations. But the truth of the matter is that the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Puerto Ricans and so-called Indians of the so-called Americas. You know?
Yeah, let me make the correction. That was actually 1930 that was published, but it was before 1930 that he actually lived and traded among the Indians. So I'm correct when I say about 100 years ago, right? And we're going to cover that. But what I want to do is I want to start with this guy named Glenn Thompson. And we had went on this site. This is off of YouTube. And for some reason, as soon as we went on it, I don't know if I put a comment on there or something. I think I did. And all of a sudden, they took it down. But we had saved the video. All right. So this is, I believe this is part 1, part 7, and maybe part 8. I don't remember. But what I did was I put it all in one little, about 3 or 4 minute video. And, you know, that's the basis of this subject. All right. So I'm going to go right to the video.
And subsequently in various universities, I've gone through every book I could find in the libraries looking for all the information that I can, and I've come across tremendous numbers of artifacts, plant dispersals, what's generally referred to as diffusion of artifacts and culture across the oceans before Columbus for every ancient maritime civilization. So it's become absolutely mind-boggling to me that I live in an advanced technological society such as the United States of America, where they still teach in school that there was no significant explorers before Columbus, and we're still celebrating Discovery Day.
Let me say this here. You're looking at the map. Let's leave it on that. That's a map from a Moabite. And I believe it was 1421, according to what the brother said. This proved that the Moabites knew about the world being round. And the map that you see there, the world map, is pretty damn close to the modern day world map. So that's showing you that, and he's going to say that, man. He said, this guy, Glenn, what's his name, Glenn Thompson? I'm sorry, Gunnar Thompson. I keep saying Glenn Thompson. Gunnar Thompson, he wrote several books. He went through the system, the educational system, undergrad and so forth. And when he went to the a grad school level, I would say, he had found this information. He tried to present it to the so-called scholars, geologists, archaeologists, and they basically, you know, they shunned him because he's telling you that all that madness about Christopher Columbus coming over here, that there was no other. That Christopher Columbus, during the time of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand and Christopher Columbus and the greatness of Spain, that they were the ones that first discovered America. But then when you go into the scriptures, you're going to find out that you had Israelites. Now the scriptures speak of 10 tribes. You had Israelites because in the beginning you had 13 tribes, all right? That they were already established in the Americas because King Solomon, along with King Hiram, what the Masons call Hiram Abith, which is a Canaanite. King Solomon had a great navy, and this guy, Hiram, was not only a builder of temples and houses and so forth, and great houses, because he built the temple of Solomon, and I believe that was 7 years. And Solomon's house was built. It took 13 to 14 years to build that house. That's how much splendor, that the splendor that Solomon was living. I mean, Solomon was the ultimate Judite. You want to talk about living? He truly lived. If it takes you 13, 14 years to build your house, double the amount of time to build a beautiful temple to Yahweh, that means this dude was living, man. All right? Got anything?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 17. For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely to know how the world was made, and the operations of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of times, the alteration of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, the circuits of years, and the position of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds, and the reasoning of men, the diversities of plants, and the virtues of roots, and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know.
Yeah, because you got Esau figuring he done figured out everything. Most of the stuff that Esau knows is old science, man. Maritime, the ships, the law of the sea. That's from the ancient world, man. And then you devils, you bring this bullshit out that through Columbus you discovered the new world. The new world was already discovered, man. And you want to talk about 1492? The 10 tribes. The so-called 10 tribes was over here more than 700 years ago. And we're going to get that in the scriptures. You're going to find out that more of 700, about 722 to 726 BC, the Israelites already was in the Americas, and they already knew to come to the Americas because they said they were going to keep, that's in 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. We're not going to get that right now. They said, look, we're going to go to another land where never mankind dwelt, and we're going to keep the laws over there, which they partially kept the laws. And we're going to find out about that in this book, James Adair, History of the North American Indians. So this is why Esau hides shit. Esau hides stuff because if he really brought out the full truth, he would have to admit that the Israelites are everything, man. That they have to truly be the sons of the Most High. Then they would have to go further and say that the Israelites are the people of North, the so-called Negroes, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Dominicans, the people of North, Central, and South America are, in fact, the Hebrew Israelites. All right? Now we're gonna go on. We're gonna go on with this dude, Gunnar Thompson.
Is it because they just don't care, or are they sweeping it under the carpet on purpose? What?
Let me bring that back a little bit. So this truth is coming out on you devils. You devils are going down. The truth, you tried to hide the truth, but we got the truth.
Subject, and subsequently in various universities, I've gone through every book I could find in the libraries looking for all the information that I can, and I've come across tremendous numbers of artifacts, plant dispersals, what's generally referred to as diffusion of artifacts and culture across the oceans before Columbus for every ancient maritime civilization. So it's become absolutely mind-boggling to me that I live in an advanced technological society such as the United States